Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 90 of Gains, and this one is titled Unintentional Find. Once you had finished everything and messaged your mum to thank her once again for the night, you crawled into bed. It was around 3 a.m. that you woke suddenly and couldn't get back to sleep. It's not like you heard anything that woke you or you had a bad dream, but your body just didn't want sleep anymore and decided to tell you about it. Well, this is annoying, you thought as you threw the covers back and got out of bed. At first you started to just do some light exercising, hoping that would remind your body of how tired you were and you'd just hop back into bed and crash again. But nope, instead of that happening, you found your body now asking for food and you stopped your squats and pulled a face into the darkness. Seriously? You said out loud into the room. You tried to ignore it, but the more you tried not to think about it, the more you wanted food. So in the end you threw an oversized jumper on and headed to your door, ready to raid the kitchen. It was very dark and very quiet in the hall as you walked softly down to the kitchen and lounge area. Unsurprisingly, the lights were all off and no one else was around, so you kept the lights off as you headed for the pantry to find some chips or something to snack on. You'd only just found your chips after groping around in the darkness and using the bare minimum of your light quirk to find your way, and had stepped out into the kitchen again when you felt a presence near you. Unsure of what it was that you were feeling, you lightly activated your palm again and held your hand up to see if you could shed some light on the situation, literally. There in the doorway stood Bakugou, in just his boxer shorts, and you froze. "Cat," you whispered with surprise. "Yun, what are you doing here?" he asked, reaching up to scratch the back of his head. Weirdly, I got hungry, so I came to get some food. And you?" you asked. "No reason," he replied, and you snorted. "Cat, it's not an interrogation. I'm just asking. Could you not sleep either?" you asked. "No," he said, averting his eyes from yours. The way he was acting was a little strange, so you walked over to him and gently wrapped your arms around his middle, chip packet crinkling in your hand behind him as you looked up into his face in the dark. It wasn't completely pitch black, so even though you couldn't see much, you could still just make out his ruby red eyes. "What's up?" you asked. "Why are you being cagey?" "I'm not," he grunted, still avoiding eye contact. "Did you know I was here?" you then asked, and he remained quiet. "Wait, how'd you know?" you asked with surprise. "I didn't, but I hoped," he said in a low voice, and you smiled and then lay your head on his chest. "You're so cute. Why won't you be more honest with me? You can say what's on your mind, Cat. You don't need to hold back," he said, and he slowly returned your hug. "I don't let people close to me," he said, and you nodded. "Yeah, I know that much, but you know I'm not going to hurt you. I'm here for you just as much as you're here for me, okay?" he said, lifting your head to look at him again. He took one of his hands and placed his fingers and thumb under your chin to hold it in place as he looked down at you, and you stayed like that for a while he kept eye contact with you in the dark. "Listen good. I won't say this often, yeah? I want you. I can't stop thinking about you. When I see you, I want my hands all over that body of yours. Show you the appreciation you deserve. I held back on that kiss before, but next time I won't," he said, all in that low and slow raspy voice he used when it was just you and him alone and he was letting his vulnerability show. "Okay, if we're being honest, I want you too. I want to feel what it's like to be your girl. I don't want to feel you holding back. I want you to kiss me like you mean it and feel like we're on the same page," you said, feeling a connection with him like you had never felt before. The tension between you two was at fever pitch by now, and you closed your eyes just as his lips pressed against yours. He kissed you firmly once, still holding your chin in his hand, and then pulled back and came back in again, this time with his lips slightly parted. The next kiss, you copied him, and your lips locked. The next second, it was on. Your tongue touched his, and you felt a fire ignite inside you, his hands moving from your chin, back down your side, and then around and under your ass so he could lift you up. Effortlessly, he lifted you up against his torso, and you continued to make out heavily as he carried you over to the lounge and dropped you down on the cushions there, wasting no time in climbing over you and lowering his body to yours. Your fingers raked down his back, detailing his spine and the divots in his lower back before coming back up to dig into his bulging shoulder muscles, all while your tongues played and danced together. For the next 20 minutes, you and he were lost in the moment, making out on the lounge at 3 a.m. while everyone else was sleeping peacefully in their beds. Finally, after what felt like a lifetime in heaven, he broke from the kiss, panting heavily, which you were doing too, and pulled back a bit to give you some room. "Whoa," you breathed. "Okay, that was hot. I've been wanting to do that for the longest time," he said lowly. then came back in for another round of kissing. You don't know how long it was that you two were making out for, on and off, letting hands wander, but when you heard someone's alarm go off in a nearby room, you figured it was probably time to get going, lest you be discovered. You panted, breaking from the kiss. We should probably go back to bed in case someone comes in. No one's going to come in. He panted back to you, leaning back in to engage in another round of heavy kissing. Wait, you panted after kissing him again. I heard someone's alarm go off. What if they hear us or walk in on us? Damn it, Bakugo grunted. Come back to mine. No, what if we get caught? We'll both be in big trouble. Don't worry, we'll find another time to do this, okay? You said, pushing him back so you could sit up. Fine, he grunted with annoyance, but make it soon. I will. I was enjoying that, you replied cheekily, getting up off the lounge. Bakugo grabbed you around the waist as he got up as well and pulled your back to his front. Don't go getting any ideas about doing this with anyone else, you hear? He rasped, smacking you firmly on the ass. I promise. I'll come back to you for my next kiss. You have my word, you said solemnly. Bakugo stands. I'm calling you out. Are you okay? Do you need help? That was a fairly, relatively spicy chapter-ish for what I'd put on YouTube. I hope everyone's all right. Do I need to call any ambulances? Do I need any backup here? You're okay? You're breathing? Good. Okay. Please come back to me tomorrow, chapter 91. There's still going to be more Bakugo content, so thumbs up for that one. I'll see you then.